unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time. So get ready for me to be more annoying than usual. Did you know that cynicism was originally kind of a pure idea? The word cynic comes from some Greek word that starts with a K, which means we probably aren't saying it right. But it's related to canines or dog-like. What could be better than that? You know, you're a cynic. You mean I'm like a dog? Wagging my tail, thinking about things that matter, snacks, squirrels, whether it's rainy or sunny, whether or not the people that I love are around me, whether or not the water lapping up on the beach is the greatest thing in the world. Okay, I'm a cynic, you know. But I don't think people think of the word cynic like that. You know, allegedly the guy, another Greek dude, I can't remember his name, a student of Socrates. See, I hate this shit, okay? I'm annoying myself right now because I hate that, you know, what? Who told me this? Wikipedia, Grok, you know, they're telling me the history of cynicism. I don't know. Anyway. But allegedly, a student of Socrates developed the ideas for cynicism. I don't think he did. I think he's the person that published it. This is what annoys me about this kind of stuff. Somebody gets famous because they want to be famous and they want to be published for an idea that millions of people already know. This is why I get annoyed with having to say, Socrates said it. It's just like, yeah, Socrates and a million other people who weren't published. And I get it, communication, you want to narrow things down. So you drop references that are little capsules of, you know, knowledge. You call them by a certain name to save time, maybe. But that's bringing me to my point. It doesn't really save time if, A, you don't know everything about where those origins came from. If you drop in the word Socrates to a person who's not interested in reading philosophy, then what the fuck point is it to bring up Socrates? Or even cynicism, for that matter. But I'm going to continue, okay? With those apologies in advance. But the original term, you know, the original dude was a weirdo performance artist, basically. Lived in a tub downtown, you know, carried a lantern around, looking for honest people in the daylight. You know, kind of a clown, kind of a funny guy. I would imagine poking fun at bullshit. Right? That, I can accept that definition of cynicism. You know, a dog doesn't really poke fun at bullshit. It just kind of ignores it. Like if you you can't try to say something stupid to a dog. First, they don't understand your language. They're just going to judge you based on, yeah, you got a snack for me? Okay, whatever you say, champ. That's the bright side of cynicism, right? But this kind of devolved, and I don't think that's the way we use that word anymore. I don't think most people use that word that way. You know, so it doesn't matter what it used to mean. It matters how it's used now. This is a frustration that I have with academics and smarter than thous, know-it-alls that read a lot of books, is they're always hearkening back to the origins of words and where something came from and telling a lesson, kind of like what I'm doing now. You know, like, I read Wikipedia this morning and I'm smart now. You know. But really we're just talking about bullshit and our relation to it. Like literally turds. Mental turds. Lies. Stupid theories. You know? Cynicism, pessimism. You know? We know what pessimism means. We know what skepticism means. Cynicism has become, these words are all kind of becoming synonymous, but I don't want them to be. You know? I guess this is coming about because I see so many people on the internet that are allegedly so excited to see change, you know? And then a lot of people get active to try to make change, you know? A lot of people out on the ground doing it, doing whatever they can do, you know? Just going about their business, building businesses, trying to make the world a better place, trying to communicate things, trying to, you know, make life a little bit better for people around them, trying to alert people to things that they see going on, sharing information, you know? And mostly just trying to get people to feel good instead of feeling shitty, you know? And I see a lot of these people that are claiming, and they're taking on these attitudes of cynics the way we use it. In other words, like, it's all just a show. Everything's just a show. Nothing's ever going to change. It's never going to change. No matter what you do, it's not going to change. Don't say Christ is king to Jews. It's not going to change. You're just going to make it worse. Don't do anything. Inaction. Just take your lumps. You know? Don't take a position. Don't try to energize anybody to do something good. Don't identify good and evil. There's no difference. The evil people will always win. We're fucked. Good people are fucked. I'm a good person. We're fucked. The technocrats are going to take over. Brain chips are coming. Mark of the beast. No privacy. We're fucked. Trump is the same. I know, I'm just repeating yesterday. It's all a show. It's all a show. Okay, great. It's all a show. Are all shows the same? Let's say you're all watching a show. What show do you want to watch? The show that's convincing kids to chop off their dicks? Slice off their tits? You know? Invert their genitalia? Make it so they can never breed again? That's one show. That's a show that's being played. It's been on repeat for the last decade. The show that you have to hate everybody else from not your tribe. The show that the government is only going to steal from you and you can't do anything about it because governments have always existed, they've always been evil, and there's nothing you can do. You know? There's that show. Or there's a show that says your family's the greatest thing in the world. You know? Your body is a temple. Don't chop your dick off. Don't let the doctors chop off other people's dicks. Life is sacred. Life is wonderful. The little baby fetus, little baby human in his stomach is a miracle beyond comprehension. You know? Have gratitude. Absorb that miracle. Doesn't matter. Kid's going to be born in a welfare family anyway. Nobody cares about it. Okay. Thanks for ruining the movie. It's all a show. It's all a show. Yeah, different shows. Let's say it is, you know? Let's say all these things that are happening. Let's pretend. Let's pretend that the players are all just lying. They're putting on a show. You know? A show about dismantling the government. A show about stopping the flow of stolen money to nefarious organizations that want to chop off your kid's dick and turn everybody into a eunuch at the age of 5. The show is to stop that. Oh, but they never will. You saw the judges. The judges are overturning it. Yeah, this is also in the show. The show you put on the show, and then you watch the other people that are trying to stop the show. It doesn't matter. If it's a show, what is the value? What does a show do? What does art do? Let's just say, okay, it's a show, it's a play. It's a song, okay? So you know the power of songs. You can make a song about chopping your dick off, drinking NyQuil, Theraflu. What's the one Robitussin? You know, get high, get high, get high, get money, get money, get money, get bitches, get bitches, get bitches. Or you can listen to a song about finding peace in your life, you know? Curing loneliness, finding hope, finding love. It's all the same, they're just songs. They're just songs. They're all the same, it's just a show. But what's the show? What's the show? What show are you watching? What does it do? Some shows make you feel great and happy to be alive. Some shows glorify the miracle of existence. Other shows diminish it. Nothing's a miracle. It's all just, you know, just a clump of cells. It's a clump of cells. So yeah, cynicism is, to me, being used in a way that is like that, a pessimism, that this diminishment of the beauty, you know, of nature. And it's all around us. You saw it. It started happening. It's been around us probably forever. I don't know. I'm 57. Okay, but I'm old enough to have lived through Warhol and Lou Reed and Dylan and Yoko Ono. All these phony stand-ins for actual beauty, you know? When you say Yoko Ono is art and is beautiful, it's lowering the bar. It's basically just saying what's beautiful isn't really beautiful, you know? There's no difference between the flower and the turd, man. It's all God's creation. Okay. So there is no beauty. You can just take a Campbell's soup can and make a silkscreen out of it and put it on the wall. Kind of lowering the bar, isn't it? Kind of lowering the bar. Makes it pretty easy. If Yoko Ono is good, well then anybody can be good without any effort. You know? It's a denial of the miracle. It's a denial of the beauty that's everywhere. It's just, and why? For what ends? To me, I try to explain it. I try to, in my mind, think, what's running these people that want to deny the miracle of everything? They want to invert it. And it just has to be laziness, resentment, bitterness, because to make something beautiful, it's kind of hard. I drew, my cartoons and the things that I drew for a long time were funny and disjointed, lopsided, and there's a lot of humor in that. But also, the reason why I adopted that kind of drawing style is because it was easier. Literally, it was easier. The benefit was that it was also funny. But it's much easier to draw a lopsided, cartoony face that's got a weird look on its face to make you laugh or make you feel uncomfortable than it is to draw something beautiful, right? Well, I don't know. It's not. Let's just say there are less rules. You can draw something beautiful very quickly. You can draw a beautiful little flower with a pencil. It's not a big deal. You can make a beautiful line. But even the beautiful curve is easier than a jagged, lopsided thing. It takes more talent and skill to make something beautiful. It just does. Throwing up a couple boards, lopsided, nail it together, there you go. There's your shack. Go ahead, crawl in there. To make a beautiful temple, a lot more time and effort. I don't need to explain this to you guys, but there is this constant denial of effort, and I think that's what's behind a lot of these people. If you support somebody that's actually doing something, getting up and every day working, taking shots, sticking their neck out, to be criticized, to be persecuted, to be prosecuted, to be a target. If you criticize them and diminish them, well, what does that do for you? It means it gets you off the hook. If people like that are bad, if the doers are bad, they're billionaires and they're greedy and they're, and granted, I'm skeptical of influencers. I'm skeptical of anybody that goes out and tries to influence strangers. But there's a real conflict there. At what point am I just making an excuse for my laziness? If I just say, oh, well, that person that built this empire, Walmart or McDonald's or any huge franchise, Elon Musk, Ford, Chevy, Apple, if I criticize it as being greed-based and everything else, am I just really letting myself off the hook? Am I really just patting myself off the back for being the guy sitting in the tub in the town square, shining the spotlight on him? That's that story. The performance artist, you think about a guy sitting in a tub in the town square, bathing in his own filth, the cynic, and he's shining a spotlight on himself, isn't he? Saying, hey, look at me. He's not building Apple. He's not building Tesla. He's not building even a house. Probably didn't even build his tub. He's just saying, look at me. I'm better than you guys. And all I have to do is sit here and stew in my own filth. I'm a dog. Seems beautiful at first. I'm a dog. I love a dog. It's beautiful to be a dog. And by the way, it is fine to just be a humble human being going about their business, making very few waves, putting the blinders on and focusing on what's important like a dog. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it's used to say, no, I'm the one that figured it all out. When it's used as a cudgel to criticize doers, that's when you just got to ask yourself, what the fuck's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? Why am I criticizing people that are working fucking hard, and taking a lot of arrows? Well, seemingly very little to gain. Oh, but Berkeley, shut up. He's flying in a fucking jet. He's a billionaire. He released a meme coin. Okay. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I don't look at that. Of course, I have a different value system, but I look at that and I go, that looks miserable to me. Hell, When I get an invitation to go to a party, and hobnob with a bunch of people, I say no because it looks miserable to me. Looks like a lot of work having to sit there and grin in people's faces and be pleasant and pretend like I like them and, pretend like I want to be there in the first place. It's a lot of work. Being nice to everybody, making sure you overdo it to be nice because you don't want them to hate you, accommodate them, make sure they're feeling good. That's what I hated about going out in the old days. It's like I started wearing sunglasses when I went out at night. I was that douchebag. But the reason why is because I had this terrible penchant for finding the most miserable person in the world and feeling this duty to somehow cheer them up or something. Terrible case of savior complex is what I had, And I realized after a long time that I was not doing myself any favors by always trying to find the person that was most miserable to try to help them out or make them smile or make them feel like they weren't alone. That a lot of these people were tremendous burdens, But I realized I couldn't. I'm not the type of person that can make eye contact with a person and then just look away. Or at least I wasn't then. I'm getting better at it now. I'd have to smile and, hi, human. Hi, human. I'm a human too. I feel your pain, But as soon as you make that eye contact, then I would feel locked in. But I realized if I wore sunglasses, then they wouldn't know. There was no eye contact. So I didn't feel obligated. I could look at them and then look away without feeling like I had abandoned them. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. But anyway, what I'm saying is it doesn't look fun to me. It doesn't look fun to be Elon Musk. It doesn't look fun to be Trump. And it's perfectly fine for somebody to doubt the motives of a person that seemingly can never build things big enough or have enough, and they always have this need to get bigger, more. It's not enough to have one restaurant named Charlie's Taco Shop. He's got to have 1,000 restaurants called Charlie's Taco Shops, even though Charlie will never be at all those taco shops, and it's not really his anymore. It's fine to doubt those things, but when you're doing it, are you doing it to get yourself off the hook? Are you doing it to dismiss the fact that Charlie's Taco Shop started as a dream with just him and a couple tacos and then expanded into a thing that employs many, many people and feeds a lot of people with wonderful tacos that make people smile? It's easy to say, oh, Trump, he's just in it for himself. Oh, really? What about all the people that play at his golf courses, stay at his hotels, and like his super long tie and like the way he dances and the happiness that they're getting from that? Because you realize if you dismiss him, you have to dismiss all them too, right? You have to dismiss every employee in all of his buildings, all of his staff. You have to dismiss all the people that just love putting their pedals to the metal in their Tesla. Just love speeding around with that amazing technology. People that like to look over their shoulder at their car in the parking lot and they just go, oh, look at that little thing. I love that little guy. Can't wait to get in it. The white seats. People that can't wait to post their next thing, their next thought on X and connect with somebody because they were feeling lonely. I get it. I've made tirades against all this shit. But I'm just asking the question is sometimes when we do that, are we just being the cynic, saying, look at me, stewing in my own filth in my tub, holding up my lantern, looking for an honest man, making a show, and that show is about me, and I'm pretending that it's about them. Is your tirade against the doer rationalizing your own laziness? Is that what you're doing? You know? Are you letting yourself off the hook? Saying, I don't need to do a damn thing. I don't need to do anything because I don't make a difference anyway. You know? And then you project that onto others. You don't make a difference. You don't make a difference. Stop trying to make a difference. Because you're making me look bad. And I think that's what it is, you know? If you champion hard workers and people that are making themselves targets and creating a lot of stuff, buildings, you're letting yourself off the hook. You know? You're not a dog. You know? You don't get to be a dog. Dogs are dogs. Dogs are fucking wonderful. I like dogs better than I like people. Absolutely, 100%. But you can't be a dog. You're going to be a people. You're bound to the realm of humanity. You know, expectations are different for you. And no matter how much you want to just pretend that the doers are evil, greedy, manipulative, they just want to sell you something. That's all they want to do. They're not really humans. They're just greedy. Look, I'm not saying those things can't be true. That's obviously can be true. But is the show about you? Are you making it about you? Are you diminishing others to lift yourself up? Because I have news for you. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. So you can keep trying, but everybody else is watching, you know? And they know. They know the difference. Some people will glom onto that train. Some people will say Yoko Ono is the best singer in the world. Some people will say that. They'll hop on your bandwagon. You can create the anti-bandwagon. You can make it. You can convince people that greatness is a vice. You can do it. A lot of people, let me back up. I don't think you can convince them. I think you can allow them the opportunity to pretend with you. And you can all get together and psych yourselves out and have a support group of, tub sitters anonymous, where you all sit in the tub and you all protest and you all criticize the doers. You can take your resentment and your fear and you can blame somebody else for it if you want to. I wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't, and I wish people would call me out every single time it seemed like I did that, because I know I've done it, and I will probably do it again, because that kind of evil sneaks in. It sneaks into our lives, and we find ourselves doing these things, and then we get defensive, and we try to convince ourselves we didn't do that thing. But we did it, and we do it, and we should stop. We should support the good show. The good show. We should support good ideas and good values and those people that are trying to push them forward. The people doing the hard work. The least we can do is support them, or not try to demoralize them or get in their way and make them feel shitty for trying. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening.